Hey, True Believers England team here. So we have the girls who don't show up on Wednesday anyway, who bought a whole bunch of videos. And then we have RDV, who bought a whole bunch of videos, but he's not going to be here. Even if he shows up, he said he's not going to be here for a while. So like he'll leave after 30 minutes. So I decided, okay, you know what? I have these all set up and ready to go. I've got a few that are all like I gathered all the comic covers too. And I said, let's finish out the Vault of Horror. We did 1 through 12, I believe, before, which is actually 12 through 24. And I figured, what the heck? Let's go ahead and clean this out. We've got 14 covers today. And I think they're pretty cool. I really like these. You know, Vault of Horror was one of our lowest viewed videos. Let's see if the sequel does. But usually sequels do better. I'm hoping that happens here. Hello to everybody in the chat. We've got Joe. We've got Darth Cato, Tony Hayes, Dark Admiral as well. Alrighty, I'm probably missing somebody. I hope I am. Oh, Michael Taylor just popped in. All right, so let me put the go for book 1. And Eric, how are you doing today?
I'm just Ducky.
Oh, cool. Ducky is a good thing to be. All right, if you could lead us off, this is issue number 27 of the Vault of Horror. And I will try to say horror. The way you guys think.
This is interesting.
Yeah, that guy looks like he's melting. Or what is that, like the blob?
I don't know. Looks like maybe he's a revenuer.
Okay.
And the Hatfields are fighting the McCoys in the background. Who knows? I'm gonna give this a 9.
All righty. I'm looking at it. It looks like a prelude to the blob. That's what it looks like to me. Hold on just a second. Is this what year is this? This would be 1950. So it's not too far away. This is actually 1952. Alrighty, about 8 years, I think. Okay, I'll get. You know what? I'm gonna take your score as you say. I'm gonna add 1 to it. This is a 10 to me. That is frightening. That is awesome. I mean, okay, so I think I see a head right here on the creature, but it really does just look like a blob. That's awesome. All righty, gang. Let's take it to the chat where we have Joe saying 9 and Darth Cato saying 7. And I think those are the only... Oh, nope, Jay comes in with a 10. All righty. Hey, where are you going with that last issue? Hey, Joe. Okay, with 98 in your hand. All right. Then Tony Hayes says 9. Okay, cool.
Michael Mouse Taylor says 8.
All righty. One slick dude comes in with a 10.
Dark Emerald March Hare says, yeah, what's 10?
All righty. Are we doing voices tonight?
No.
Let's go.
Probably not.
The try not to inspiration of the creature from the raft in Creep Show 2. Give it a 9. Well, we'll give it a 9 for you there. We don't do 0.5.
9.5, you round up.
Okay, we'll give it a 10. All righty, and RDV comes in with a 4. Why a 4, RDV? Book 1 looks like a combination of John Carpenter's The Thing and The Blob. Very well rendered. It's cool. I agree with Eric. It's a 9. All righty. And come on in, RDV. All right, so let's see. We have 1 4, 1 7, 1 8, and 4 9s. So that would be, actually 1 and 1. That's down to 3. Yep, it's a 9. All righty, cool. There we go. But that is, yeah, that's a wild cover right there. I do hope they continue. All right. No, you come on out. I've been out for quite a while. All right, go for book.
Oh, he's got a last minute 8.
Okie dokie. And that does keep it in the 9s. There we go. And book 2 cover, that's issue number 28. There we go. And it looks like a voodoo. Yeah, it's a voodoo thing where they're raising the zombies. Of course, zombies come from the voodoo religion, where they put someone in a near state of a near death kind of state where they're actually mindless. They're just kind of walking around. That's where the zombie legend came from. The colors, the lighting, I like. But where's the fire? Actually, the fire seems like it is surrounding everybody and not just the zombie. So I don't know if that's supposed to be, but no, actually, it looks like they're all kind of fleeing from the fire themselves, like they're dying with their zombie queen. I give this a 9. What do you say, Eric?
Well, I see it differently. What I see is a bunch of brothers just doing their own thing, and some white Karen's about to complain about it. And this time I will see your 9 and raise you 1.
Okay. And let's see. We have Darth Vader with a 10, as well as Dark Admiral. RDV's on the 5 kick. I don't know why. Are you pissed we aren't doing Jonah Hex? You're not here, man. All right. Let's see. And there we are. For some reason, I can't. What are we doing? What are they trying to post? No. Okay, there we go.
Joe comes up with an 8.
Okay.
Yep. Michael, I'm not gonna do that. And Henry Jeremy, book 2. It's okay to me. It's average. It's a 6.
All righty.
It's just not the same without the lessers.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, this is probably it seems like. But
it says, how's it going, little Rhaegar? Gives it a 10.
All righty. Let's see. One more time. 1, 2, 3. The second half of the gun in your hand. Oh, hey, Joe, where are you going with that gun in your hand? All right. They wouldn't. I'm going down to shoot my old lady. Thought I caught her messing around with my. Really? They won't let you post that? That's weird. Them crazy Cthulhu cult kids just having fun. I give it an 8. Hey, RDV, what's up? I think E has one of the words banned. Why? I wouldn't. I'm going down to shoot my old lady. Thought I caught. No, I don't have those words banned. Gonna shoot my wife? No, of course not. All right, let's put up stock.
Camera.
Oh, you don't have to ban anything. YouTube will ban it for you if it's.
I know that is faux show. There were a couple. What were they like?
Invaders.
That's right. During Invaders was banned for some reason.
I bet at the time some Republican politician must have used that word to describe illegals.
Trump did. He said they're invaders.
That must have been why.
Yep, that's all it takes. All right, we have 1, 5. Really? Is that we had 5, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and now we have 3, 5, 7, 8. We're missing 5 scores.
MK 9.
MK comes in with a 9. All right.
Like it might not even be the word they're banning. It's because you have it in a certain phrase. The algorithm is targeting stuff like that. So
the algorithm should recognize a song lyric.
I know, right?
They pay these people to do.
Well, the algorithm is young; it doesn't know these old songs. But today felt like one of those days. It was much cooler out, but it felt like when you go to the misting stations.
YouTube rejected your comment. This usually means they think it's spam. Try changing it a bit. I literally just tried to type that in.
What did you type in?
Going down to shoot my old lady, caught her messing around with another man.
Well, yeah, that's not positive that you're talking about going to commit murder. Twitch has stuff like that too.
Oy vey. That's ignorant. All right, we have 1 5. We had 2 7s, taking out 3 10s, leaving 3 9s left. Okay, there we go. 2 9s in a row. And let's move on. And here you go, RDV. I'll give you book 3. Go for book 3. There we are. MK3 doesn't vote until you put up stop. Oh, did he already do that? Did he do that? Oh, yep, another 9. Okay. Well, that just cements the 9. All righty, let's keep this thing going. And hello to everybody. By the way, we have 16 people watching, but we only had 3, 7, 8, 9, 10 people voting. Please, by all means, if you're watching, throw up a number. If you like the cover, you don't like the cover, just put a number up. 1 is god awful, 2 is horrible, 3 is very bad, 4 is bad, 5 is meh, 6 is average, 7 is good, 8 is very good, 9 is awesome, 10 is super awesome.
I feel like
whatever
Tim
that
started a
means to you.
trend. So they're all this lurking. They're not participating, but they're lurking for
Yeah,
background noise.
maybe so. All righty, RDV, this is issue number 29.
I'll go 7.
Ha!
Going down to shoot.
Take that, algorithm.
What'd you do to get it through?
Put musical notes on it.
Yeah, quotes. Yeah, or whatever.
Okay.
Notes and quotes.
Do I care about getting likes on this channel? Of course, it's engagement. Any engagement puts a video more out there for people to
whether
to
they
discover.
whether they type anything or not, as long as they're viewing it, that's still a view.
The weird thing is the chat doesn't count as much as comments after the video's been posted, as far as engagement is concerned. That is a weird thing. I've had some videos that didn't have high view counts but had a lot of engagement in the chat. Still wasn't it was not as counted. It's very weird, very weird. All right, so you said 7. Okay, what do you think, Eric? Looks like we've got zombies.
Yeah, I like that. I'm going 10.
All righty. In this issue, EC's adaptation of a story by Ray Bradbury, America's top horror writer. All righty.
Zombies or aliens?
They look like zombies, but I guess at that point in time, they wouldn't be called zombies, or would they? Well, no, they did have I Was a Teenage Zombie Mixed Up Freak or something like that back in the day.
The one in the middle doesn't look like a zombie. It looks like an alien.
Yeah, it looks like he's kind of radiated, doesn't he? All right, well, I'm going 8 on this. I like the cover. I don't think it's awesome, though. Let's go to the chat and see what they've got to say. Let's see. One Slick says 9, and Manga Eater says 8.
Manga reader.
Manga.
Englentine.
Teen. Yes.
Time.
All right. We have a 9 and then an 8.
It's England time.
Englentine. Yes. It is actually Englentine, but I've been saying that word wrong. It's actually Oglentine or Oglentine, by the way.
Oglentine?
Yeah, Oglen. I'm typically a lurker, but not on this channel, says Rhaegar. Well, I appreciate the engagement. Dark Admiral March Hare saying 10. And then Darth Cato agrees it should be a 10. And then we have Joe gives it an 8. A bouncy 8.
Michael Miles Taylor says 9.
So if you put anything in musical quotes, then I'm good. It depends on what you're putting in musical quotes.
As long as you don't start spelling out slurs, the racial slurs, you're fine.
Yeah, I'll knock you out for the racial slurs, or any kind of slur. Tell you the truth, can't go wrong with Ray Bradbury, says Joe, and One Slick gives it an 8. All righty. White Zombie was an old movie, says Henry Jeremick. Yep. Rhaegar says 8.
White Zombie was better than anything came after that.
And then MK says 8, and Tony Hayes says 8 effing zombies. Alrighty, so we got 2 more.
Zach says if you can only watch one zombie movie.
All right, let me get the stop. If you do have a last minute vote, put that right on in there. Oh, Henry, as a matter of fact, says book 3.
Wait, I have a request.
Oh, go ahead.
Begorra! They look like a bloody leprechauns. It's all right. It's a 7.
All righty.
Well, the one on the left, that's Palpatine.
Well, we have 2 7s taking out 2 of those 3 10s. We got 8 10s. It's an 8. Or, I mean, 7. What did I say? 8 10s? 8 8s. This is an 8, ladies and gentlemen. All righty. We take a step backwards, not forwards. We're looking for the ever elusive 10.
Walking Dead City. One of the last 2 episodes had Negan walking into a hospital, and he goes into the pediatric ward, and a bunch of zombie kids.
Haven't seen it yet. The last one I saw, what was the last thing that happened? They met some sort of commune in the at the zoo. I think that was the last one I saw. Oh no, and you find out the kid is working for the bad guy.
So you're at the beginning of the whole third season.
Yeah, I forgot it was on. I watched
Really?
the first. Yeah, I just forgot, and I went, "Oh my gosh, yeah, that's out!" And so I started watching it.
They said season finale was last weekend, not this weekend, but the week before.
No, okay. Well, yeah, I'll catch up. The original Night of the Living Dead. If I can only pick one zombie movie, the second one in the shopping mall, the Dawn of the Dead was that one. Well, what if I were to pick?
I mean, this is the hot take for me. I don't know for you guys, but I think 28 days later is better than those.
Yeah, I mean it's a zombie movie where
it's a remake of The Crazies in Britain.
Well, actually, we had a remake of the Crazies here with Timothy Oliphant.
Yeah,
I really liked that one. That was a good remake. But yeah, I like 28 Days Later. I don't think that's
and it's funny how that came out in 2002 over there, and then the Walking Dead comic comes out in 2003, the year later.
Yeah,
so I wonder if he took inspiration or it was just coincidence from Rick waking up in the hospital.
Yeah, everybody thought when we read the Walking Dead first issue that they were taking. But
then again, there's the Raid, and then there's Dread.
I don't know, Lucio Fulci's zombie movie. That's pretty wild. But yeah, the original Dawn of the Dead's hard to beat. Ooh. Yep. Okay, let's go for book. What are we on? We're on book number 4. Eric, there you go.
And that's what makes it better. I mean, you can still say it's an infection movie, but they're like, so is zombie movies. That's an infection as well, too. You get bit, you turn.
Here's Vault of Horror issue number 30. Eric,
what 10? That's a classic.
It's one of the books. One of the guy's name I can't remember.
Ghastly Graham, probably. Ingalls.
No, the psychiatry guy.
You know, it'd be great.
Wortham. Thank you.
It'd be great if they was a page from the book, the name before that. The guy standing there, the lights go out, and then is that.
Yeah.
You can see the bones intact.
I know, right? Okay, RDV, what do you say?
Go 9.
Alrighty. And I'm agreeing with Eric here, giving it a 10. Let's go to the chat. We're Dark Admiral March Hare. He says 10.
Do you see the upset stomach ad in the back?
Yeah, stomach up. Yeah. Alrighty. And Joe gives it a 9. A bouncy 9.
We talked about this.
And then we have a 6 from Darth Kato. And Tony Hayes comes up with a 9. And then we have one slick dude with a 10.
Michael here says, finally, The Rock has made a 10 plus. Hey, Jessica Word.
Yo, I'll say 9. Someone give that man a hand. I'd say he needs the rest of them a little bit worse at the moment, but
yep, he's got the hand. Manga Reader says this is a 10. All righty. Do we have any more 10s? Any more 10s? Anybody out there going, wow, this is a 10? Yeah, that'd be cool. All right, just saying. All right, let's book 4. This famous cover for a reason, because it's killer, says Henry, giving it a 10.
If he should have said, "Hang on a second."
Okay, we get the stop. Once again, if you do have a last minute vote, we will put that in there. But right here, we've got 1 5. I'm sorry, 1 6 and 5 9s going up against 7 10s. Ladies and gentlemen, our first 10 of the night.
Don't worry, we'll be done before midnight.
Oh, most definitely, yeah. Does anyone know what stop that commuter was going to? Yeah, actually, it says this is the Bronx Express. Yeah. All righty, let's go for book 5. Oh, by the way, no rejects tonight. Anytime we do a title where we're just going through issue numbers, no rejects. So there we go. All right, book 5. I'll take us along with that one, and we have issue number 31. And this is another Ray Bradbury. After a while, you would think, they don't have to advertise it, but what is that guy's got? Does that guy have a head?
Yeah. It's just really dark and purple.
Okay.
I think it got smashed in.
Yeah. Okay. You know what? I'm thinking 1, the Ray Bradbury's in the way, and 2, it just isn't as clear what's going on here. It's not a bad cover, and the lights are pretty good. The lighting on the murderer is pretty good. There's no blood on the hatchet. Overall, I think we'd give this one an 8. What do you think, Eric?
This is an early prototype for Thor.
Mayor Adams, New York City.
Yeah.
No, Mayor Zohan or whatever.
I was gonna
Yeah,
say,
it ain't getting better.
Mayor Adams, it was a breath of fresh air.
Yeah, well, also only 22% of eligible voters voted.
Yeah.
Doesn't explain how many ineligible voters voted, but
Well, he said he's going to battle ICE, so probably all the illegals voted.
Yeah. Oh God, his platform is a who's who of you got no shot.
Yeah.
But he's going to win. He is the next mayor.
There's no way that if he came up and said, "I will bomb buildings, killing citizens," and he ended up being the Democratic
Party won.
Well, I'm saying if he said that he's going to bomb citizens and he wins the primary, which he did, they would still vote for him because he's Democrat.
The dumbass said, "I'm going to arrest Netanyahu if he says fuck New York." No, you won't, because he is a guest of the United States. You'll be arrested if you try to do that.
Alrighty, so going to the wait, hold on. Do I have it? No. What'd you give that, Eric?
A 10.
Okay, how about you, RDB?
Well, somebody put the red light on.
But on a red light.
And it's nice seeing the Crypt Creeper before he died.
Yeah.
He looks so young. I'll go 6. I'm not a fan of the guy that sledgehammer's face. It looks kind of like distorted.
Okay, let's go to the chat. Kramer is driving the bus. Severed arm on a Bronx subway probably isn't that uncommon. Darth Keto says, okay, meow, meow, meow. It's a 10. I'll do the meows.
The meows?
Meows. Meow. Okay, Dark Admiral Marcher, however, gives it an 8.
7 from Michael Carrick says, can't really tell what's going on.
Yeah, a little bit. It's a little
He says some of the covers are not clear.
Really? I see them clearly here. Excuse my yawn. What the hell? YouTube's been doing this where it's saying that my playback is messed up. Okay, there it is. Yeah, I'm seeing it clear on YouTube also. Oh.
Maybe it's a little dark. That's all. Could be the coloring, shading. Like this. The guy, I'm like, is it head smashed in or is it burnt? It looks purple like Two-Face.
Yeah, I think they were trying to hide it a little bit, so they didn't get the Wortham treatment.
I mean, there's no blood anywhere, which really brings up the score.
Joe gave it a 6. Can you get the others while I get all of Ethereal's votes on the
Sure, I got my
previous?
bullets.
Thank you.
Yep. All right, what's up to Sarah Welling coming in with a 7? What's up, Sarah? We have Rhaegar saying 9. All right. Henry Jemick says book 5. The rain is cool. The evil guy looks mean. Gonna like smashing the guy's head to pulp. That makes it a 10. One sick dude comes with a 9. Tony Hayes says there'll be bread lines. There won't be bread lines. There'll be lines for people that grab stones. There it is, brick lines. Typical New York City minority leftist socialist gets the primary. Man, call me shocked. Remember the people voted for former bartender in Congress? Anywho, I'll say 7.
I was watching the beginning of Gutfeld, and Dana Perino, who's not exactly known for being funny, was guest hosting. And she was talking about, his opponent was, Mario Cuomo. He goes, what makes sense? He goes, kids are, voters are missing their, grandparents. Younger voters are missing their parents. And he goes, yeah, I guess the senior vote was important.
We get a 10 from Lark Bark.
Saying he likes this kind of comic book.
Mm-hmm.
All righty, cool. Well, welcome, and I hope you enjoy. All righty, let's see what we got for number 31.
Neil Pickett.
Whoop, say again.
Neil Pickett says that. Nope, this looks clear.
Okay. No, I looked on both. So yeah, the both this and the StreamYard and YouTube is clear. I think it's just this cover with that guy is just but Michael Taylor's saying he's seeing multiples. So I don't know.
So this is doesn't have the comic code on it. So I'm like, why isn't there any blood?
Well, they didn't go some of them did go way far out. So
I mean, you had that black cat. One of the guy's mouth is.
I'm looking for my T-shirt disappeared. God dang it! I paid a lot of money to get that T-shirt made.
Well, Gail decided to give that to the cat.
Maybe. Oh my God! She, during the wintertime, she let that cat sleep on my jacket. I picked it up off my chair and I put it on. I'm just sneezing my ass. We're driving. I'm sneezing up and down. What the hell? And then I look down. It's just covered in cat hair. Thanks, Gail. She looked at me. She said, "Well, I'm trying to kill you." I like her honesty.
And then I was said, "Well, you're doing a crappy job."
There's one 6 taking out one of the 4 10s. There's 4 7, so all 3 10s are gone. Now we have 1 9 left versus 2 8s. This is an 8, ladies.
The rain wouldn't wash away the blood on the sledgehammer.
Oh, there you go. All righty, let me move that up to the 8s, and here we go. All righty, RDV, let's go for book 6, which is issue number 32. There we go. And number 32 looks like this.
Okay, just waiting for my change for me. I'll have to look at my phone then. Oh, there it goes. Andrew Dice Clay is getting his getting whacked. Or the MJF. I guess it's this guy, he's shocked. Maybe he killed him or whatever, but he's alive. 6.
All righty. And how about you, Eric?
I'm not enamored with this one either. I think I'll go 7.
Okay. I think the art's pretty good on it. Once again, the colors are cool. But it's kind of basic, isn't it? I'll go one more up. I'll go 8. And to the chat, where Lark Bart gives this an 8 and Ethereal goes yawn 4.
I think it goes. Blah, blah, blah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yep. Darth Kato says 10. This one is really creepy.
Alrighty.
Well, if you're saying it's really creepy, then Ethereal Dragon says, yawn 4. It's really crappy.
Nice. I'll say 8, says Sarah Weller. Yeah.
Joe gives this a 6.
A bouncy.
No, there's no bounce.
And then we've got an Michael Taylor says, I can't do it properly. I can do the voice. I just don't. Michael Taylor. What is it? Michael Mouse. Oh, okay. There we go. Okay, it's an 8. All right.
Admiral Montana says 5.
Ready? Bum. There was
tiny little nips went to France.
Wait, what?
Dark Admiral, I need context. And then I don't want it at the same time.
LMAO and his laugh my ass off and his tiny little nips went to France. Now, are you talking about nipples? Or
and
people from Nippon?
And who are you talking about? Who is nipples?
Yes. All righty, because I know, right? There's story here. It's like you just derailed it.
Raker's like, whoa.
You completely derailed this. We need to know things here. All right. Let's see. The guys from the Blue Man Group. Yep. If it had okay. Book 6. What's wrong with this cover? The guy's missing the hatchet lodged in his head. It's still cool though. It's a 9. If it had the hatchet, then 10. Was there a hatchet in this cover? Did I get a modern version of it? What's the price on this one?
10 cents.
Yeah, that's the original cover.
You know, as I said, like I don't know what the heck that light on the spot is. Guy's head is out.
Yeah. All righty. This is the original cover. Let's see. Let me see if. Okay, let's see.
When you guys do the Theo Dragon's voice, I think of the scene with Bruce Almighty where he's screwing with Steve Scarell. He says B1.
What number was this? 32, right?
Yep.
All righty. Let's see.
Maybe there is a variant.
Hold up.
MKF says 6.
Hold. No, we don't. No, we don't. We're stopping. We're going to redo this. You know, usually the place I get these are reliable.
You got a censored one?
But yeah, this one's censored. Hold on, guys. We're going to redo this cover.
Well, that makes more sense because I was like, yeah.
Thank you very much for showing this or calling this out, Henry. I didn't know. All righty, kids. We're going to start this all over here. I'm going to cross out all the grades and numbers I did. And Eric, what do you say?
10.
Yeah.
Okay. RDB, what do you say?
Splitting 10.
All righty. And absolutely from me. Now let's go to the chat. Oh, well, hold on. Let me put up the okay, we got to stop and go again.
You know.
All righty, kids. Now let's see what you think about the original.
Yeah, when you're chopping.
I do apologize.
When you're chopping up your food while you're cooking dinner while you're driving, and then you get in a car accident because you get to look at your texting.
Tony Hayes gives it a 10.
Yeah.
This looks better, says Michael Taylor.
Yeah.
Give it a 10.
No.
All righty. And if this happens again, by all means, Henry, keep me on my toes. Because
10.
Yeah. Sarah says 10. Yeah, this makes way more sense now, says Darth Cato. And Dark Admiral says, wow, what a difference. All righty. And let's see. Anybody else? I mean, if this is the last of the votes, that would be.
So the other one was a fake cover because this one's $2.
Well, this is a reprint that they didn't censor.
Oh.
Gemstone, I think.
No, I appreciate it, Henry. You caught a mistake. Look, you guys know it. I'm not very professional around here. I don't want to be. I don't want to be one of those plastic channels. So I'm gonna make mistakes. You're never going to have an AI fake video channel when you come to I Love Comics.
I'm a little embarrassed that I didn't catch that, but then again, don't see many ECs. Of course, I've probably read the reprint of this fairly recently.
Yeah, the older versions, I am seeing it censored. That is something on all the older versions of this.
So it must have been during the Wortham trials or after.
Well, it was in the 50s, yeah.
Okay, so
but this is Gladstone. You see the Gladstone on it, so yeah.
So you did Sarah Welling at a 10.
Yeah, I got Henry with a 10, and Lark Park would be the next one.
All right. Lark Park says 10.
All right. Dang, talk about tone change and ranking topic. I know, right?
Joe says 7. Cooler, but still strange coloring.
All right.
Derek Anal says, Henry, just tell him to look for the rights and covers. Damn, you guys got through this quick. I keep expecting 10 minutes of commentary for each cover.
I'm giving the Spaceballs 5. Or finger.
Leave the cleaver. Yep. That's where Maureen's cleaver went.
All righty. So there you go. Damn, you guys got through this quick. I keep expecting 10 minutes.
This version is cut above the other.
Yeah, when there's only 3 people on the on the board, it's a little quicker here. All right, we have 1 7, and then we have 10 10s. Let's go with a 10 here. All righty, ladies and gentlemen. Give me just a second.
Lester's on here. Desert Rose isn't here. Pixel, even though he has the night off, isn't here.
What's up with that?
He canceled Mem in the Box for some reason. So
okay,
maybe he's just not into horror books.
Maybe.
It's not really my cup of tea. Like, it has initial cool, but then after that, it's kind of like okay.
Well, the reason why we're doing it is, of course, you said you might have to leave. We're halfway done, actually. Yeah. Almost halfway. There's 14 tonight.
I'm just saying, I've never really been a big fan of the horror books because after a while, you run out of ideas. How much more can you do with the cover when you're limited? No? Well,
yeah, and I figured let's do the Jonah Hex when you're available and you can actually, because you enjoy Jonah Hex books as much as if not more than a lot of people.
I was looking at Action Comics too as well today.
Cool.
Well,
you have, what is it, 7, 8?
8 or 10, I thought. I would remember what it was.
You put in 40. You put in 40, and it was like every 30 for every 15. It was 3 for 4, so it would be 15, 30, and then 2 extras. So yeah, it would have been. Yeah, you've got 10. You got 10 videos. So there you go. Alrighty. Let me get the stop.
It didn't cancel. It didn't cancel the channel. This week they're not doing it. They'll be back next week.
Yeah. And then we'll go for book 7.
How do you do Doctor Who content when there's no Doctor Who up?
How do you do Doctor Who content when there is Doctor Who? I mean, and especially now, I don't even like Doctor Who, and I could tell you this Doctor Who is worse than the bad Doctor Who.
So what I would do then, I would just go back and review the seasons, the older seasons. You're talking about Action 2 facsimile?
Okay. Eric?
Not talking about any facsimile.
Issue number 33.
I was looking at Silver Age Action Comics.
Start with the brain. Oh wait, I think we did Silver Age. Did we do Silver Age Superman or Action? I think we've done one of those before.
Well, I was looking around just before the post-crisis era.
Okay.
This is really, really intricate.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go 10.
All right.
Yeah, I think I Little Orphan Annie should be pulling her weight there, but
I know, right?
Yeah, I was looking at Action Comics were only 500, right on there.
Who is the dude who is just walking ahead? Everybody's yelling, and it looks like everybody's yelling at the kids in the coffin. Some of the parents are looking on in horror. So what is it, and who died in order that the pallbearers are all kids while the parents and the adults are looking on shouting? Mystery, ladies and gentlemen. sell the book. This is a 10.
I wish I could tell whose name was on the coffin. The front there.
It looks like Ozempic. I don't think that's the name, but that's what it looks like to my old man eyes.
No, that's what he took. He's the first. He was the first to take the drug.
Yep.
Imagine the kid in the front there is. Who knows? I guess that's an adult coffin, because I thought maybe it'd be a kid coffin. Well, the kid's carrying it. That'd be more creepy. Yeah, the kid in the front, man, he looks like he's just got a pack of cigarettes rolled up on his sleeve. That'd be cool, but yeah, this is a confusing cover. Kids just carrying coffin through the thing. I'm gonna go 6 with it because I don't get it,
Alrighty, and let's go to the chat, where I do believe we're starting with Tony Hayes. This one's weird. Why are 6 kids carrying a casket? And he gives it an 8.
No, we did Weird Western War Tales, and then we did the first 12 issues of Jonah Hex.
Yeah, weird Western Tales. Oh no, we never got to Jonah Hex. We did cover the El Diablo, though. We added those in, but we did up to issue number, I want to say 20. I think, yeah. Anyway, the second half is cleaning out Weird Western Tales. It'll be like the very last Weird Western Tales with Jonah Hex, and then part 3 would be Jonah Hex 1 through 12. RDV told me he wants to skip part 2. We'll do that later, and then we'll go to 3 where it's Jonah Hex 1 through 12. There you go. All righty. Mickey Mouse Taylor says 8.
One slick dude says 10.
And then we have a Darth Cato 8.
Joe says not a fucking bouncy 9 for detail.
Bouncy, not a fucking bouncy 9 for detail. All right. Ethereal Dragon gives this an 8. And then we have, let's see, RDV was Jonah Hex issues.
Really?
You read this. Okay. I thought there would be a score. All right. So Rhaegar says 10, and so does Dark Admiral March Hare. All right. There we go. And we have Sari Wellington as well. Sari Wellington.
I really wanted to, because you said, I thought there'd be a score. I want to say, that's what she said.
Okay, that gets a video high five. All right, there you go. That was pretty good. Back in those days, they could get away with putting kids to work. Exactly. I think it's oranges, like the coffin is made from crates. The train cover is the best by far so far. It's old Mr. Peter Schmidt. The kids thought she was a witch, and until they met her, my guess. Henry says book 7. The lid to the coffin looks like it's not rainproof. It's rendered well, though. Give it an 8.
Hey, Anglantine, they say you sound like an owl. Hey.
What? Who's they in this case?
The burger people. Every single time I think, who's they? You know, them. The burger people.
Them, yes. All righty, gang. Let me get the stop here. All right.
Probably the best Taco Bell commercial I've ever watched. I remember I like the dog ones, but like just, yeah.
Oh, and Jackson says 9.
I mean, why would a coffin needs to be any proof? After a while, the coffin just deteriorates. It's meant to that way.
All right, we got a 6 that takes out one of those 6 10s. And then we've got 6 7s that takes out the last 5 10s and one of the 9s, leaving 1 9 left. All righty, kids. This one is a 9. 9. He's 9. We have ways of making you stalk. All righty, let's get the go for book. We're on book 8, kids. There we go. RDV, your turn. And this is issue number 34 of the Vault of Horror. Okay, so he's either in an oven or a grave. I'm guessing a grave of some sort. Not just some hole, isn't he? What is that guy looking out at? Anyway, what do you say, RDV?
I say that guy has had too much caffeine. Looks like he just had some coffee and he's going to commit a little bit of murder. You know, maybe that lady or he kidnapped or guy said he liked tea. And he's like, no, you're going to have coffee. You know, because there's a big conspiracy about that. How coffee people do not like tea people.
Okay.
It's an abomination. So good luck. Yeah, it's still kind of weird. I guess we're going for like it says vote the horror. Like the cover here should be like a creepy book. It says the title creepy. So I'll go 9.
Alrighty. How about you, Eric?
Sure, 9. That works.
Alrighty, I'm bumping it up a grade. This is awesome. I love the look on that guy's face. The fact that it almost looks like his teeth are melting, but not downward, but into his lip. That is awesome. The crazy look on it. The tree looks good. Yeah, I'm giving this one a 10. Alrighty, let's go to the chat. Do we have ways of making you stop? No, you do not. All right, Michael Taylor saying 8, and so does Ethereal Dragon. Okie dokies, artichokes, we go 7. Great teeth, but otherwise, says Joe. And then we've got an 8 from Dark Admiral. Is that blackface? No, sir, it isn't. It's shadow face. I think that should be the excuse for all white people trying to save their lives for doing something stupid. Darth Kato says 10. Hello, Nightmare Fuel. Alrighty, next up, Sarah Welling is saying 9. And dang, I just got chills. I looked up the screen after writing the end of a chapter in my short story to see this cover, which was eerily similar to the ending of the chapter. Austin says, giving it an 8. I'm assuming Austin has that accent.
I was to say, do you think Austin lives in Mayberry?
Oh, you kidding me? Yeah, he does. No. All right, Rhaegar says 8 as well.
But Jackson on the Rakers would like to say 8.
Jackson Raker. All right. And Tony Hayes says, I feel like the guy on the covers are far from Delaware. All righty. 8 and 8. Gives me Westworld vibes. And what's the better movie, The Running Man or The Elephant Man? Okay. You do know just because they got man in the title. These are not movies to compare. People who go see Elephant Man may not like The Running Man, but people who go see Running Man more than likely aren't going to like The Elephant Man. Elephant Man is the better made movie, hands down. Deserved all the Oscars. Definitely John Hurt deserved the win for Best Actor.
Okay, Henry says, Book 8. The faces are weird. MK's questions are weird. But the hands are well rendered. It's an 8.
All righty. The Running Man is awesome. The Running Man's more accessible, but The Elephant Man is the better made movie. And One Slick gives it a 9. All righty. And let's get a stop here. And if you do have a last minute vote, feel free to put on in there. It's okay. It's cool. If you're watching, you're part of the crowd. Go on ahead. Put your vote in. Welcome. Welcome to Fantasy Island. All right. So we have 1-7 taking out one of the 3 10s. And then we've got 8 8s. And that just kind of wipes out everything. And it's an 8. All righty. There we go. There we go. There we go. There we go. Then right now, with the 8 books down, we are sitting with 3 8s, 3 9s, and 2 10s. Okay, let us continue. It is book 9, and my turn. Alrighty, I'll go Running Man. I'm going to stick my fist in your stomach and rip out your spine. That's why I call them MK's crazy comparisons. They're great. Yeah, I vote for Ben Richards. He's a bad motherfucker. Okay, so anywho, we're going to book number 35. Holy Toledo. They took a picture of last Christmas at my house. Alrighty, well, What's it say? Merry Christmas. It's got her name on it. I'm giving this a 10. This is just awesome. I love this cover. And by the way, the snow is probably on the right side of the window, unlike that Comics Cavalcade cover. All right, Eric, what do you say?
Well, actually, on that Comics Cavalcade cover, it was on the right side because they had a miserly landlord that wouldn't let him run the heat.
Okay. But why did it have stars on the inside?
I don't know.
What do you say about this Christmas cover that I should include in our next Christmas rankings?
This is absolutely a 10. Of course, he's so close to her. Yeah, he made up elbowing her first.
Yeah,
that's true. And instead of hitting her with the axe blade, he's just going to clonk her on the head with the handle. RDV, what do you think?
Christmas at the Bates Motel.
All right.
Man. Whew. That's yeah, he is really close to her. I know they're trying to go for a different perspective, but yeah. No. I'm going 10 though. Silent Night, Deadly Night themes.
All right.
You can't not go 10. I mean, look at it.
And plus, by the way, as I always say, the coloring is good. It makes the lighting stand out. The shadow on the wall, it all goes in the same direction. The art is actually very good on this cover as well. Let's go to the chat where Dark Admiral's agreeing with us with a 10.
Why is it always a hatchet? Are they not allowed to show guns?
Well, hatchets and knives are considered more frightening. There's a gun you can stand across the room from somebody blown away. Yeah, knives and hatchets, you got to get up close and personal. But I got to wonder, how sucky was her present to him?
All right, Austin says 8, and Ethereal Dragon says 9. 10, divorce, vault of horror style. Give it to the red, white, and blue. Ooh. Already.
Joe says,
old people know.
Joe says 10. That's an incredible Christmas cover.
A bouncy 10. That's an incredible Christmas
I'll bounce you out of this live stream here.
All right, 10. 10. You know she had it coming. The constant nagging. All right. 10.
Most cover says 10. Very cool cover. Colors and very nice detail.
Let's see. Not that crazy, says MK. Jackson says 10.
And Tony says you have nice tits.
Well, thank you. I work out. I appreciate someone finally noticing. One slick dude gives it a 10.
MKF says, okay, how about this? The better movie, The Hustler or The Sting? And 10, very horror-esque.
Ooh, we might have a debate on our hands on this one. I'm going to go with The Hustler.
Hustler for Jackie Gleason scene, but The Sting is overall better for me.
All right. I'm not going to argue it because both of them are great. Yeah. Where do you stand on The Hustler versus The Sting, Eric?
Well, I haven't seen The Sting since I was a kid.
Oh,
actually,
same here.
I saw it one time in a theater.
Dang, you're old. It was a theater?
Rhaegar says it's a 10.
Yeah. You're the guy you do Resident Alien with.
Yeah,
has a finger for you, courtesy of me.
Insert Heath.
He keeps giving away though. I think I have all of them.
Sarah Welling says solid 10. All righty. Next up, we have I married an axe murderer. Yeah, I've never heard of a slasher who used a gun.
Head down the front.
Head down. That's a huge noggin. It's got its own gravitational pull.
Book 9. In a world where this reminds me of my ex-wife. Wishful thinking. This cover is close to my heart. It's is there something you'd like to tell us, Henry?
Oh, Henry, by the way, you never kill your wife in the living room. Everybody knows this. All right, she is about to regret getting him yet another pair of socks. She's been warned. The first is saying, pick up my socks, huh? Then pick up your head, and gives it an 8. Alrighty. I like the dark humor that's coming around here. I don't know what either of those movies are, says Rhaegar. They're older. I haven't seen either of those movies, says Darth Cato. We're old. We get it.
Robert Redford or Paul Newman? That's pretty much what you're
Yeah, that's right. Paul Newman plays a pool hustler in The Hustler, and Robert Redford and Paul Newman play hustlers in The Sting, but not pool hustlers. Con men.
Yeah, and the thing with the hustler, he's a gambler. He's addicted to gambling, playing pool, hustling.
Yep. All right, we have 2 8s, 1 9, and they are going up against 14 10s. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a 10.
I barely even know who those 2 actors are. Rhaegar, sometimes I think that you're like my age, but then then you say something like this, I'm like, if you're my age, were you under a rock for like 10 years? So?
It goes back to something that I used to do. I ask questions of my nieces and nephew when they were younger, see who they'd heard of and who they hadn't. And we are now at the point where you can be an adult and not really know who Paul Newman is.
Yeah, Alfred Hitchcock is.
Well, I could not tell you who the actress is who gets the knife in Alfred in that cycle. I don't know. I know Norman Bates. I don't know the.
You know Norman Bates, but do you know Anthony Perkins?
Well, no. I only know Norman Bates.
Yeah, Anthony Perkins is the guy. Anthony Perkins is the guy who played Norman Bates.
So you don't know that the woman that died in the shower was Jamie Lee Curtis's mom?
Nope.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay. Oh, no. Okay.
But then again, I've never watched the movie all the way through.
Venkman. You watch Holiday Affair now, right?
Yeah, but I can't right now offhand. I couldn't tell you who.
Well, she's the female lead. She's the one that Robert Mitchum ends up with.
Yeah.
That's the same lady that died in the shower.
I just can't remember her name though. The actress.
Janet Leigh.
Yeah.
She was married to Tony Curtis.
Who
probably has been forgotten by the
yeah, I know, right?
Generation.
Let's see, I'm just poking fun, but sorry to hear about a crazy farmer wife. I've never been married, but I've had experience.
He's not the only Tony that's forgotten. You asked a kid who Tony Danza is today? They have no idea.
Yeah, it's the same thing. All righty, let's go for book 10. And Eric, you have this one, and it is
Anthony Perkins.
Issue number 36, right?
Well, first of all, before you switch that, too late. Let's point out that most women that get knocked off by their husbands are usually look like bowling pins with hair. This guy outkicked his coverage, so she must have been a real bitch to get him.
Well, maybe she was cheating on him.
Maybe.
There we go, Eric.
6. It's like they mailed in the flames. I don't know. Something just doesn't look quite right about it.
Okay.
Pixels, that you?
RDV.
Looks like he just got done. Oh, he lit a body on fire. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm like, why is he standing here at the flames? And I'm like, oh, that's a body on fire. Yeah, he's in Florida. Some guy just spontaneously burst in flames. He was a tourist, couldn't handle the heat. I thought it was pretty cool. I love the flames going a little bit over the title. I'm gonna go 10 with this. The only thing I would wish is they get rid of the stupid characters on the left side. They serve no purpose for the cover whatsoever.
Yeah, they do. That's what differentiates EC from the competition.
I'm agreeing with RDV. I do like the flames. I like the burning body, the guy's stance and everything. This great coloring. 10. All right, and to the chat. What do they say? And then the next
page of the story, the guy turns to walk away, and the body gets up and starts walking towards him.
Then it'd be 10.
I know, right? Austin says 10. I like it. Love it.
I want some more of it.
I love it. That is the Frank Langella in Cutthroat Island. Great movie. Let's not talk about Casey Anthony. By the way, she lit. No, it wasn't her, but there was a woman who killed her kids in the neighborhood I lived in, and when the kids were about 5, so it'd be about 99.
There are a lot of cases like that.
She had killed her children and then she hid them underneath a mattress, and that's where they were found, because she went over to her mom's, and apparently, I might be remembering this part wrong, but apparently she wouldn't tell her parents where the kids were. And so they went to check on them and found them under the mattress. Like between the box springs and the mattress, she tried to hide them there. Yeah. Let's see. Rhaegar says 10. There you go. Oh. All right. Henry says it's all right. It's a 7. And then Michael Taylor gives it a 7 as well. We have a 9 from Joe, a bouncy 9. And then we have this cover looks like the scene I'm about to write. Huh. 2 covers in a row that looks exactly like your story. Let's see. Dark Admiral gives this a 9. Alrighty. Dr. Fate, Henry, but they put this Dr. Strange. Okay, so Darth Kato says 10. This looks like what happened after the last cover. That's pretty cool. Yeah. That's okay. Simple but so good, says the first, giving it a 9. And then we have Ethereal giving this an 8. All right. This would definitely not be the show for the Lesters. Yeah, that's why we're doing it today. That blonde girl was the character in the Eagles song Lion Eyes. All right. And One Slick gives this cover a 9.
And we should arrange Playboy covers. Then we could say it's a photograph, but I like it.
Right. MK saying, oh, how about this? Who's the better actor, Robert Redford or Brad Pitt? Brad Pitt. That's my choice on him. I've seen a lot of Robert Redford movies. I think he's a good actor, but I think he plays Robert Redford in a lot of movies. While I think Brad Pitt is a very good-looking character actor, and because of that, he was kind of launched into leading man status. But I think he's actually a character actor who got that way. Let's see. The colors are very nice. That's nasty. Unfortunately, that's more common than people think. Henry says, for me, Dr. Strangelove is better than Dr. Strange. George C. Scott was awesome. Peter Sellers it is a very good movie. Oh, shit. Taki mushrooms. Oh, goodness gracious. I just dislocated my toe.
Check the end of your foot.
Not mislocated.
Oh.
Dislocated. Okay. Oh. There it is. Okay. Ooh, that hurt. All righty. Let's go. I do like Pitt in some films, but he doesn't hold a candle to Redford, says Darth Kato. MK says, under a message, then not devolved in a New York City kitchen with bleaching concrete. No, not this way. Not this time. All righty. Oof. Let's get the stop. Zoinks. Duplicates your toe. It just kind of went out like that. So that did, my big toe. Ooh, that did not feel good. All right, we have 1 6, 2 7s, 1 8. And they take out 4 of the 6 10s. Then we have 4 9s. There you go. And this is a 9. Alrighty, moving on, gang. We are rounding the final corner. 4 covers left. Alrighty, let's see. I can't believe I realized this sooner. My first short story's title is literally called "The Thing Under the Bridge." Might have accidentally written about you a few Halloweens ago. Alrighty, well, thank you for calling me a thing. The toe thing happens to me sometimes at night. Hurts like, doesn't it, though?
Wait. The Thing Under the Bridge. Well, you do kind of look like Michael Chiklis.
Hey, you know what? I did play, yeah, so it works out. I did play him in promotional. So, all right, let's see. We got the stop. So let's go for book 11. So this one is yours, Eric.
It was a good movie.
This one is RDB's. Say again?
Brokeback Chickless. That's a good movie.
Brokeback Chickless. All righty, RDB, here you go. Issue number 37.
That's a tall ceiling.
It looks like the Haunted Mansion.
It looks like a trapdoor open on the ceiling, and then it is like, oh, we forgot to tell you, there's 14 more floors. I had no idea.
It's an old Victorian house. They actually had big vaulted ceilings. And like you see it in Gone with the Wind, you know, the stairs go up, but then they go up higher. Yeah.
I'm more annoyed by his clothes.
It's clobbering time.
He couldn't find any clothes that actually fit him. He must have been really poor.
Well, those are pajamas.
Are those pajamas?
That's what I was seeing. Well, yeah. No, those look like going out shoes.
Yeah.
All right. Well, anyway.
Yeah, styles were loose.
Oh, I guess he said turn me loose, but they decided to turn him noose.
Oh, brother.
Good Lord.
He said, I'll do it my way or no way at all. And they said, nope.
That is just, it's the thing.
Well, it is a horrible cover. It's a horror cover. So horrible jokes.
Okay, Fozzie Bear. Waka waka.
I give this a 6.
Okay, how about you, Eric?
Let me see. Yeah.
Hang in there. He'll get a score real quick.
Ah! I don't want to keep you guys hanging.
It's a swinging good time.
Okay, I've got to agree with Venkman for one reason.
Okay.
Tiny baby head.
Tiny baby head. Well,
no,
yeah, you're right.
You enlarge it and look, and you go. The head is just it's early image head.
I'm wondering if it's attached to the body. I think we're watching the beginning of the body fall while the head stays.
I'm not giving him that much credit. I'm sticking with
okay.
Head.
Do you think you think he's next strong?
I think this is a 10.
Anymore.
I love it. I dig everything about this one, including the shadow here. All right, so Austin says 7, and Rhaegar is giving it a 10. All righty.
Where's the phone covers of the guy strangled with the phone cord?
I don't know. I don't even think that's Vault 4. Dark Admiral says 8, and Ethereal says 7. 8 and 7. Next up, they really did not hold back on these covers, did they? Says Tony Hayes, giving it a nice 10. All righty. Moving on, we have Joe saying, it's a 7. I've seen better hanging men. A bouncy 7. I've seen better.
You are obsessed with Martin Short, buddy.
I am, really. He's a comedy genius. Just watch Three Amigos. You don't get many covers with hanging.
How much you go watch Clifford?
You know what? Everybody has their faults, all right? Okay, even Harrison Ford made Indiana Jones.
Jiminy Lake, whatever that was, that show he did? Oh,
that was funny as fuck. That was a funny show, and I'm sorry, one of the greatest comedy lines ever came out of that show. He's interviewing Mel Brooks, and he looks at him and he goes, so what's your beef with the Nazis? I collapsed when I heard him. Yeah, so did Mel Brooks, by the way. But that just fucking killed me. All righty, so let's see. 10, says Michael Taylor. Very cool perspective cover. And then we have, I like the shadows, says Tony Hayes. Me too. Alec Baldwin did a good job. I also like the Phantom from the 90s.
I like Joe's reaction. I don't think he likes you saying bouncy anymore.
I don't care. It's going to happen. Who knows what evil lurks in the hearts of men? The shadow knows. Ha, ha, ha. All right, Darth Kato says 8. Looks like he was going to bed and slipped Final Destination style. That wasn't a horrible movie, the last one.
I stopped after the second one.
I don't blame you. Checking Loverboy off my list for comments made. Thank you. All righty. So you're loving every minute of it. Okay, so One Slick says 10. And here's one for you, Eric.
Book 11. In a world where we hang 'em high, it reminds me of House on Haunted Hill. The proportions of his pants are off. Too big. But that's just me. It's all right. It's an 8.
All righty. I think that is the last of the numbers.
So I prefer Return to the House on Haunted Hill. They have lesbian ghosts.
And you cannot beat lesbian ghosts.
No, you know, I've been to a lot of haunted houses. I've yet to run into a lesbian ghost.
You know, that's the one. That's the
And
one.
you're really trying. Oh, sorry.
Honestly, that's the one time I'll say busted makes me feel good. Lesbian ghosts.
And the way that you could take busting 2 different ways, that's pretty disgusting. Okay, Rhaegar says, I prefer House 4. I like House. That is a fun movie. House 2 was awesome as well.
We seem to have a repeat offender. The ghost or the guy watching?
Okay, so we have 2 6s, and we have 3 7s, taking out 5 of the 6 10s, and then we have 3 8s, taking out the last of that. Even with the missing 9, we have an 8. I can't believe that late in an 8. I honestly thought that was going to be a 10. Oh, well, okay, so Rob. Then the crazy face guy made it to 8s, and I thought that would have been a 10. So what do I know? All righty, my turn again. So we're going to get the go for book 12. We have 14 tonight, kids, and we close, and we actually are done with Vault of Horror. Okay, let's see. We have issue number 38. All righty, and let's see. Okay, so we got 2 what looks like thugs walking through what looks like zombies.
Tugs.
This is one of those things where it's all lighting, it's all coloring that's doing it. The lack of the negative space speaks more almost than what we do see. Overall, though, I'm gonna go 8. Eric, what do you say?
I'm gonna go 10.
Okay.
I like the close-ups of the skeleton faces. Yeah, and there are various states of decay.
Okay. And RDV, what do you think?
I feel like those guys are about to get killed. I mean, where are they coming from? Walking to, and I guess maybe they started walking, and all of a sudden in the hallway, the lights turned on, and all of a sudden they see all the zombies ready to greet them. Oh, creepy.
Okay.
I'll go 9 with this.
Alrighty, so we've got an 8, we got a 9 and a 10.
I just don't like how the ones on the right blend in as one blob. They would separate them a little more.
Yeah. Okay, going to the chat. Austin gives it a 6.
Joe says 8. On the Dark Admiral March saying 10.
Okay, so we have an 8 and a. Hey, you went quick, so I would miss the bouncy 8. Alrighty, anyway. You're no fun, man.
yeah.
You don't like I know what you talk about. Okay.
Michael Taylor and Tony Hayes both said 9.
Alrighty.
The first saying 8. Foreboding.
8.
Hints of what's to come. I mean, I like boating too, but we're talking about.
I like them better than Nightmare on Elm Street, but I could see that. Just shut your brain off. You like the Final Destination better than Night. Well, you know what? Nightmare on Elm Street was a series of declining quality.
The grossest thing I ever saw was the whole cockroach thing in the Nightmare on Elm Street, and I just like because I hate roaches and bugs like that.
They taste good. Rhaegar says 7, and so does Darth Cato, going kind of meh.
The sad part is, I don't know if you're joking because you're in Thailand. They eat bugs over there.
I have eaten bugs in Thailand, yes.
Yeah, so it's like
I never ate a roach, but yes. I have a picture where Riam holds up a bug and it's like that big, and she goes, "Honey, you eat?" Like, no. And she showed what they did was they would with the thorax they would slide it off, and then the meat of the bug is right there, so they would just go
eat,
and they would take it was almost like a delicacy. Yeah, or you could take your fingers like what is that, pow or whatever it is in Hawaii.
Darth Cato saying 7, kind of meh. MKF30 is saying 7. Warlock with Julia Sands. R.I.P. Yep,
that was good. Yeah. What happened to is pretty crazy. Ethereal says 7 as well. Alrighty.
Michael, don't ask.
EY. Okay, here you go, Eric.
Book 12. In a world with an unestablished setting, the mystery does not sell the book. Where the hell are they? It's well rendered, though. It's a very good cover. It's an 8.
An 8.
And Michael, when I was in Thailand, I had a yes attitude, because I'm in a different country. So I figured I would try as much as I could, try to do things that were in the culture, including some of the foods. And when you would go to certain night markets or roadside markets, you would have people with all sorts of delicacies. There was literal frogs on a stick. You look at it like you've seen it in movies and it's a joke, but there are frogs on a stick that people were picking up and just eating. I never tried those, but bugs, there they were. Crickets were actually pretty good, by the way. Crickets are basically like potato chips, and they are flavored. However, you could have barbecue crickets, and it chews just like a potato chip, and it would taste just like barbecue, except for it's a Thai barbecue. So literally, whatever you put on the crickets, they taste like. But I did. There were these bugs, and they smell. They smelled like cinnamon almonds, and I was like, "Oh, okay, it's like cinnamon almonds. Let me try some." And I literally just took a couple, tossed it in there, and it had that cinnamon almond taste. And then I bit into it, and my mouth filled with that cream filling. And then I realized that's bug guts, and I couldn't get that shit out of my mouth fast enough. It was horrible.
It's kind of like just having a big old pussy zit and it go in your mouth.
Basically, it was very much like that. I bit in it, went poof. So it filled it, and it was just like my mouth is filled with bug guts. Yeah, and then I went to get some coconut water to wash it out. And the thing is, and this is where I started feeling a little emasculated, because there was this girl, she must have been like 15, selling the coconuts, except for the way they do it is they chop off, like they peel it with a machete, chunka. And then this little girl took the straw right through the coconut and handed it to me. And I went, holy crap. I said, is it really that easy? And so she allowed me to try it. Chop, chop, chop. She gave me the straw, and it went boom, collapsed. Couldn't do it. So anyway, there you go. Let's go on to cover number 13. Oh, wait, did I rank this one? We have 1 6 taking out one of those 2 10s. We have 5 7s taking out the last of the 10, and all 4 9s. This is an 8 because 4 8s are left standing. All right, there we go.
I'm just saying, every time he talked about bugs, I want to play that clip from Lion King. Ooh, the juicy footprints. I love these.
Yeah.
Boom.
Yes. Big Guys was not on my bingo card for Bug Guys. Let's see. What do we? I ain't eating no bug. Just letting that fellow walk on by. Okay. I eat alligator on a stick. Every bite of Seattle tastes like spicy chicken. I've had alligator as well. You know, lived in Florida for a while. Who doesn't have alligator if they live in Florida? It's not bad. It's not bad. All righty. So let's move on. We are on book number 39. It's Eric's turn. Here you go, sir. Issue number 39. Let me get the go for book 13.
Oh, it's a girl. I thought it was a dude at first.
I was like, you can see the hair in the dress and such. Yeah.
Oh, look. This is how we get girls at the rankings.
Yeah.
Shackle.
I have no idea what the context is here.
The skull's in the distance, so look at the background.
But I mean, yeah, look at behind her, in front of her. Yeah, but I'm mystery sells the book. It's a 10.
So I like this because she's in the
Sir, you are called out. You should have already tried alligator and at least a couple of frog legs at the very least.
So it looks like she's in the kitchen and he wants a sandwich. And those are all the little women who couldn't cook, so he got rid of them. 10.
Alrighty. And what was your score, Eric?
10.
Okay. So let's get to the chat. And we are unanimous.
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 We're anonymous.
Holy moly, this looks like a Renaissance painting turned into an easy comic. 9, says Austin. Joe says 9, and Darth Kato says 10.
A bouncy 9, Darth Kato says 10. This is really good.
Rhaegar says 10.
All right.
Michael says 10 for the art, the colors, and detail. I feel like every book has colors, art, and detail. You can just give a score there, buddy. Bubba.
No, let him be him.
Does that drive you nuts when people call other people, hey, what's up going on, Bubba?
No, I call people Bubba all the time.
That is just so weird because not everybody does it, and the few people that do that are always the weird ones.
Man, this P Diddy basement now, and I'll tell you all about the question, the video that killed the radio star about Bogus, the Tainted Love, man. I don't know which one is better. What one do you think is better? I don't know, guys. It's saying about Soft Cell. Which one's better? One hit wonder? I don't know, but I'm giving this a 10.
Soft Cell, Tainted Love.
That's my Boomhauer, by the way. All righty. Yes, by the way, Tainted Love every day of the week.
Video Kill the Radio Star is more iconic just as a fact that
it was the first MTV.
Yeah, and also Video did kill a lot of the
definitely took out Chris. What's his name? Christopher Cross. Or maybe French Revolutionary paintings. What's the painting of that one revolutionary that had the condition where he had to stay in the bath and was killed in it? I do not know what you're talking about, dude. Henry, Eric.
Book 13. To me, it seems like another ex-wife cover. It's well rendered. It's an 8.
Alrighty, I think I might have chased some people away with the bug talk, but hey, Thailand was a great trip. I don't like the situation that surrounded my trip to Thailand, but I definitely enjoyed being there.
Everyone's glad you had a great time in Thailand.
Yeah, that was really good. I made sure that I stayed away from basically white people. You know, I wanted to know the culture. So, yeah, that was awesome. That was awesome.
Yeah, you can get to know the culture real quickly. They greet you at the airport.
Actually, let's see. We had 2 8s, 3 9s, and 7 10s, ladies and gentlemen. This is a 10. All righty. Okay, and last book of the night, RDV. There you go. So when it was about 2013. It was and it was when me and Gail were separated, and that's why I say I don't like what surrounded me going. But when I got there, you know, I had a different experience than most tourists because I went into the mountains. I didn't stay. I did stay 1 week at the beach, but I went into the mountains, and there were very few Americans or English people or Russians because I stayed in the villages. So it was very different kind of trip.
Yeah, like you had a rough year. Marvel ended. They stopped making comic books.
Yeah, I mean, you had to leave America because the comic book thing. All right, we're going to go for book number 14 here. RDV, this next one is yours here. Read us off. There you go. Issue number 40, the last issue of the Vault of Horror.
Oh, that guy's back's broken.
Does it become something else?
Does it become something else?
Yeah, a lot of Golden Age may have, like this book started off as the War Against Crime. So if we ever really wanted to complete it, we would do a War Against Crime 1 through 11.
Oh, yeah, it looked like the Headless Horseman at first. Like, yeah, I agree with you too. I like the broken chair. The guy's cap or something in the background, or a pot kettle. Weird. I guess it's a receding hair Dracula going after him because he wants some blood. And also, the guy's not wearing any shoes either, or socks, or a shirt for that matter. Yeah, I guess Dracula's not picky. He likes dudes too. Shirtless men. I guess he does suck.
Oh dear Lord, you went there. You went there, man.
Yeah, I'm with Kato. I'm not really a fan. It's a color. It just looks bland. If they let it to the time the color that each of them in, so yeah, I'm going 4 on this. Alrighty,
how about you, Eric?
I'm going 10. There's something about this cover. I can't put my finger on it, but it's just at first glance.
Oh, he's also got a broken chair leg in his hand. He's going to kill him.
Well, yeah, he's trying to kill the vampire, and he's using the table leg to do it. But yeah, it's just it's simple, but I don't know. I can't put my finger on. It makes me want to read the story, assuming that there is that story in this book.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna go 8 on this one, and so let's go to the chat.
Oh, the Crypt Crew is a bottom in this issue.
Alrighty. I'm surprised they like the Vault Keeper. If it's Vault of Horror, should be at the top. The Old Witch. What was the Old Witch? She was no, not eerie.
Creepy.
The Crypt Keeper, obviously, Tales of the Crypt. What was the Old Witch?
Haunt of Fear.
There you go. Like if it's their book, they should be on top. Okay, so anywho, Austin is giving this a 6.
Dark Admiral March Air says 10. It tells a story. Okay. Not a fan, says Darth Kato. Joe says 7. And then we have, let's see here, Brokeback Castle, 7, says Rhaegar. And then here you go, Eric. Want to read that case?
Yeah, yo. I love comics. Okay. So how about this one? A better song. I Ran. So Far Away by a Flock of Seagulls. Or Don't Fear the Reaper by Blue Oyster Cult.
Don't Fear the Reaper is my choice on that one.
And this one, I'll say 9.
How about you, Eric?
I love them both for entirely different reasons. I can't pick.
All right. Michael Taylor says 8. Yeah, my first thought was Dracula. So, okay.
Count Dracula.
There you go. One more, Eric.
Book 14. In a world where trying to impale the vampire with a piece of broken chair is cool, the rendering is okay, but the colors suck. That makes it an 8. I'm sure this was a color choice. I mean, they had,
yeah, they had to.
Maybe it worked at the time for, maybe that was a thing, and that, who knows.
Well, man, the first thing's going on over here, is like, oh, I don't know if I'm late enough, I'll put in a vote or something. But he says 7, maybe the better with a different color. I don't know about, man. You'd get a little different color there. It might be looking like a different book there. But he's saying more color. IMO. He gives us 7. All right. Let's see. And I've heard "Don't Fear the Reaper" way too much, says Rhaegar. Yeah, sometimes that does happen to a song, right?
MKF says, Eric reads my voicemail.
Yeah, it's taken a lifetime of smoking to get into the ballpark with his natural voice.
And I'm
Oh,
like,
wow.
Joe,
Oh.
I'm with Joe. He's saying I'll disagree. Sometimes solid colors show more details.
So here we have 2 4s taking out the 2 10s. We have 1 6 taking out the 1 9. We have 3 7s taking out the 3 8s. This is a 7, ladies and gentlemen. And I do believe that makes this worst cover of the night.
He was robbed.
Robbed.
All righty, but there you go, gang. 14 covers in less time than it takes us to do 12 with a full panel there. And we did play around a little bit. Okay, and we have number 14 at 7, and then we have 5 8s, 3 9s, and 5 10s. Alrighty, let's see, 8s. Then
What good on the whole covers?
5, and then we have 3 9s. 1, 2, and 3.
And the ones like the 7 at the end.
Yep, I got. And then we have 5 10s. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, let me get the go for the 8s here, and we're gonna.
Bryn, most of my friends tell me they heard their voice during the song. Oh, me up there a few minutes. They need a cough drop,
Here it is. Zoinks and away. Alrighty then. Just let's see if I can't do this here. What do we have is the 5s. I can't see these well enough. I do believe this was one of the 8s, and then we had the guy with the axe right here. And next up we had Crazy Man, Crazy Eyes. Whoop, nope, not that one. Here we go. And then we had the Hanging Man.
Adam Page.
And the guys walking through zombies. Eric?
I think my favorite one is the 1st, and my least favorite is the 4th.
Okay, so we've got the favorite being 1 and the least favorite being 4. How about you, RDV?
Yeah, I'll go 1 as my favorite. Least favorite is 2.
All righty. And my favorite is the Hanging Man, number 4. My least favorite is number 2, the Axe Guy.
Yeah, nobody likes Axe body spray.
I'm going to say I ran MK. Most of my friends to. Okay, you read that. 1 6 7. All right, so Admiral says 1 and 4.
And 2's on an axe. It's a sledgehammer.
Okay, and Darth Kato says 1 and 5. And then we have, let's see, 1 and 2 for Material. Next up, Henry says, yes, please always show the covers again, as this says, okay. 4 and 2 from Michael Taylor. And then we have 1 is best, 2 is worst, says Joe. Speaking of crazy, I just saw a car with 20 bumper stickers on it. If you guessed they were leftists, you won. He ran so far away. All righty, we still have a couple of choices out here. I know that Henry hasn't given his yet. And it looks like MK. We have a clear winner, that's for sure. All right, I'm going to move on to keep things going. I'm just going to go ahead, and when somebody puts in their vote, just give it to me here. The 8 Sledgehammer is the best. That's it, book 2. And then we have the worst is Crazy Face, and that was issue number 3. All righty. MK 8 is face. 8's best is Face Off. Worst is 2. Face Off. So I'm guessing that's book 3. All right. And 2 is the worst for MK. All right. Let's ratio this shit. And what we got here, we're working on the losers because the winner is, pretty clear. Let's see. Book 2 has 1 positive but 6 negatives. It's going way down on here. And then we have 2 that have no positive. Well, nope. We have 1 that has no positives and 1 negative, and that's book 5 already. And then we have 1 that kind of cancels itself out, and that is book 4, The Hanging Man, as well as book 3. But book 3 has 1 and 1, and Hanging Man has 2 and 2. And then book 1 had 6 positives, no negatives. All righty, so it stays the way it is. Let me get the 9s going. Oh, thank you, Ethereal Dragon. Eric, what do you think? Oh, hold on. Let me show off the 9s, which was the first book we did tonight. And then we have the second book we did tonight. And then the crazy kids carrying the coffin. What do you say, Eric? Best and worst of the 9s.
Man, these are this is a 3-way tie.
Of awesome?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yep.
It's weird. At first, I was going to say that number 2 was my favorite, but I'm going to go with that as my least favorite and go with 1 as my favorite.
All righty. RDV, what do you say?
For the 9s, 3 is my favorite. 2 is the worst.
All righty. Well, we all agreed on the worst of them. And me and RDV agree on the best of them. There we go. All right, let's get to the chat where Ethereal says 1 and 2. And then Dark Admiral says 3 and 2. And let's see, Joe says 3 and 2. And Darth Kato says 3 and 1. All righty, 2 is the best, 1 is the worst, says Rhaegar. And Henry, the 9s, I agree with Eric. 1 is the best and 2 is the worst. All right. And then we have Michael Taylor saying 3 is the best, 1 is the worst. And you know what, guys? I'm calling the mercy rule because we've got it clear here. I don't think there's any way this can change. And 3 is best. 3 goes to number 1 because it's got 6 positives and no negatives. All righty. And then, of course, book 2 had 1 positive, 7 negatives, and then 3 and 3. So book 2 or book 1 canceled itself out.
You know, Rhaegar's over there going, man, bunch of racists.
Of course.
So you know that so she bites and moans. Doesn't make her a bad woman.
He does that exactly. He does that every time. 1 is a mess. I can't tell what's going on, says Michael Taylor.
Yeah.
All righty. So let's nope, not go. We got the 10s. There we are. And let me show these books off one more time. So just to remind everybody. And we had The Train. The Train. Next up, we had The Mistake cover. There we go. And then we had The Merry Little Christmas. Whoops, that's not it. Okay, where'd it go? Is this it? Yep. And then we had Fire. And we had My Anniversary. All righty, Eric. Best and worst of the 10s. What are we sending to the bracket fights, and what do you want to keep away from them?
Severed arm.
All right.
Axe in head. No, I said, but
I know, right? Some great ones.
I think the third one is better than the other 2.
All righty.
And fourth one for me is the only one I didn't give a 10 to. So that's
every time I look at the number 2, it's MGF with a little hat on.
What do you think is the best there, RDV?
Oh man, I guess I'll go with number 3.
Okay.
Till death do us part. Getting your wish, baby.
And what is the worst of these?
The worst up here? Man. Yeah, it's hard. I guess the last one. The last one, it just seems, number 5 just seems so tame compared to the rest of them. It doesn't fit in.
Yeah.
There's clothes there, but it's like, okay.
The others are brutal. I do agree. Even though we don't see the violence in book 3, the implied violence is awesome. And I think that's one of the reasons why the 3 of us have chosen the same best. And as a matter of fact, chosen the same worst.
Unnecessary roll call. Starfire. Raven.
Yeah, it doesn't work without them.
You need the ladies.
Beast Boy.
Cyborg. Booyah, mother. Anyway. Okay, so.
No, that's Black Lightning.
Okay. Dark Admiral says.
That was totally not Cyborg.
Dark Admiral says 3 and 4. Alrighty. And then we have Ethereal saying 3 and
Robin.
2. Starfire.
Hi guys, the learning tree. Sorry.
Joe says 3 is the best, 2 is the worst. Alrighty. Next up, we have 3 is the best, 2 is the worst from Joe. And then we have, these have been some great covers. DC Comics really disappoints, says Joe. I agree. And Michael Taylor, 1 is best cover of all, 5 worst, great art and detail though. Okay, 1 is the best, all right, and 5 is the least. And then we have, but it is funny with just the guys doing it. Okay. Tough. I really liked the 3 of them, but 2 Hatchet Head is the best. Alrighty.
If it's just the guys doing Starfire.
And 4 Light My Fire is the worst.
Raven.
Okay. And Rhaegar comes in with 3 is best, 4 is the worst. Okay, is that? That is that. Oh, did I skip Darth Kato? He says 3 is best and 4 is the least best. Alrighty.
Remember, it's an honor to be skipped.
Say again? It's an honor to be skipped. Yes.
Yep.
Let's go with that. All right. Do we have a clear worst? Holy Toledo. We have a tie for clear worst. So I'm just going to leave these in the spot that they're in. We've got 5 and 4, both with 4 negatives, no positives. And then the next least is, for some reason, book 2. Okay, I'm surprised. But you know what? You got to give it up because the 2 remaining are awesome. But there was only 1 positive for book 1, and then book 2 or book 3 here had 9 positives, no negatives. So we are sending the Christmas issue to the bracket fights, ladies and gentlemen. Which, by the way, if it wins this one, it is not eligible for if we put it on a Christmas. But there you go. Alrighty, that is kind of cool. That is a great cover. Obviously, it's the one we all picked. So
That's a great cover. I know what cover that is great. That takes the cake,
Of course.
That's
All
a
right.
good looking cover.
There we go. Alrighty, man. We are 13 episodes in. Remember, we also did Teen Titans Part 2 a while back, so we have that. Once
13
again,
episodes in.
Yeah.
I need to make some changes in my life.
we're 13 episodes into season 14. What? No, 13.
I know that's what I was. Yeah, it's like.
Yeah.
Oh.
This is, I do believe this is episode 208. So yeah.
The crazy thing about today is the comic books come up. I got one of the final issues of Lazarus, the Great Grunka. That book comes out after being a hiatus for a few years. Ultimate Spider-Man is delayed. I love it. Diamond is just ruining everything for everybody. Brain, you get all your books in this week?
Yeah.
I can't get no Satisfaction or Boat on the River. Well, I'll tell you this: Satisfaction is iconic. Boat on the River, I would say, is probably my favorite song. It's a for those of you who don't know, it kind of sounds like an Italian folk song. It was done by Styx on their Cornerstone album. Great song. And it was popular more internationally than it was in the States because it sounds like a lot of folk songs in different countries. But Satisfaction is iconic. So yeah, even I would have to go Satisfaction on that one. While personally, I think I would listen to at this point. Well, Satisfaction for me also is one of those songs.
Better riff. Bum, bum.
I'll never take away from Boat on the River. It's one of my favorite songs of all time.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Last Train to Clarksville or Jumpin' Jack Flash?
Last Train to Clarksville.
Jumpin' Jack Flash.
Jumpin' Jack Flash.
Absolutely, Last Train to Clarksville. But Boat on the River.
There's some Stones songs I would give Last Train to Clarksville the nod over, but Jumpin' Jack Flash.
That's one of your favorites there.
If nothing else, yeah, if they'd have found a way to use Last Train to Clarksville in Night Shift with Billy Blaze.
Yep.
If you go, Last Train to Clarksville.
I was thinking you were going to go there. There is no Whoopi Goldberg movie called Last Train to Clarksville.
Okay, I'd like to change my vote.
But yeah, in all honesty, though, personally, I've got to go Boat on the River. But I understand Satisfaction is such a more iconic song. Yeah. But Last Train to Clarksville definitely beats out
Stones, man. Like all of their songs are just great riffs and stuff.
Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds. Okay, Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds. Beatles or William Shatner?
I'm not a fan of the song, so. Shatner sounds like it'd be funny, though.
Shatner's freaking amazing, dude.
Hey, did you guys hear that the reason why Ironheart is getting no ratings is because some comic book fans still can't handle a strong woman of color as a lead?
Yes, because Ironheart was. I saw that. That's horseshit. You know, it's the same thing they do all the time. What you gonna do?
No, it's because she said, if I had more money, I would be so much better at this. Who said?
Tony Stark made it in a cave with scraps.
I know.
Yeah, okay. Then, yeah, you're not Tony Stark if you can't make it in a cave with scraps. So.
Nope, I'm going with racism.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Let's work up till now. Why not? Why stop now?
You know.
Yes.
One of these days, he's going to say his opinion out loud to somebody, and someone's not going to agree with them, especially if he calls him a birthday party clown, and he's going to end up looking like a clown with black eyes.
What are you talking about?
Your boy, Zach?
Was he defending Ironheart?
I'm sure he probably is.
Well, yeah, because Critical Drinker called it the worst thing Marvel's
exactly,
ever done.
I know.
I realize that's that happens all the time, but it also could be that Marvel keeps topping themselves. Yeah, because I think you compare Echo was the worst, was leader in the clubhouse, and now it's Ironheart. But they haven't exactly been on a dream roll.
Nope.
But yeah, I said, Zach. Let's see, Zach's latest two videos. Spent one on bitching about West the whole time, and the other one about Clownfish. So yeah, I said, it might just be time for Zach to fold the tent and go away.
I would love it, and I know he'll never. Wes will never do it, but Wes would just be, or Aaron just be like, "Yeah, look at this idiot over there. Thanks for the shout out, Zach."
Oh, they take shots at him when they do their weekly thing. Yeah, because I said he has truly become everything he made fun of for years. He is a shill for corporate entertainment now. And he's resentful, to indie creators that actually get things out.
Has he just kind of gone full on Ethan Van Sciver when it comes to his books?
Ethan and Zach, I think, are just full-fledged SJW Republicans now. I mean, I said, the only thing I myself at this point have in common with either one of them is, voting.
Are you sure?
Oh yeah, even while he was, going the direction he's going in now, he still says he's a Republican.
Okay.
But he just thinks. I guess he just thinks now that the SJWs were right all along about entertainment, and I guess I don't know.
They were.
I mean, at least he went after that nut job that DC hired to write Red Hood.
I'm shocked he didn't praise it.
Yeah, him.
YouTube doesn't want you anymore. Problem with YouTube is you. The problem with YouTube is you. Okay, I guess that's the one he went after, Clownfish.
Yeah.
And then the fan who ruined Spider-Man, fake geeks come in all shapes and sizes. By the way, even I called out the whole fake geek girl thing. But I also called out people calling people fake geek girls all the time.
Zach says that Wes should just go away because he's only been reading comics for 15 years. What the fuck's that guy have to do with anything?
I know, right?
I said, there's a word that Zach needs to learn. It starts with an H. Has 7 letters. History. I didn't live through the Revolutionary War, but I know who won.
So even if he says, "Oh, Wes has only been reading comics for 15 years," they were so much better 15 years ago than they are today.
So does that mean that you and I, Eric, can basically school Zach anytime we want?
Yeah, Zach.
I mean,
you've only been reading for 35 years. Get out. That's ridiculous.
Well,
because you and I have been reading for 50 years now, by the way.
Well, back then, comics were written for straight men. The intelligent men. Now they're written for gay guys.
But I said this has not. I mean, but the point is,
So you kind of should leave the industry.
Okay, you've only been reading for 15 years, so you're not allowed to comment on anything that was done before that. I'm sure Zach's commented on books that came out in the set. Oh yeah, yes, to say they weren't any good. Even when I was agreeing with him 90% of the time.
I'll just say this, Zach, you can comment on books when you actually put out a good book.
Let's see, Zach Shillington. What do we got? Hello to Sticks, and I like this so far. The songs are okay. He's saying we're old.
Zach is a failed writer.
Let it be or let it bleed. What is let it bleed?
Let it bleed?
I know only women bleed. But Let It Be is one of the greatest songs of all time. Very few songs are better than it. So I would probably pick that over even a lot of Stick songs. Let's see. I used to save all my Myers comics before SJW videos. Every time he did one of those, he had a lot of fun and personal stories about comic reading culture. Austin, I'm going to say this. He only did the channel. He only does the channel by his own admission so he could sell comics.
But just in case you're wondering, the other song, We All Need Someone We Can Lean On. That's Let It Bleed.
Let It Bleed.
If you want to, no, it's Let It Bleed. Let It Be is the Beatles. Let It Bleed is the Stones. Well, we all need someone we can lean on. That's Let It Bleed.
I did not know that.
And if you want it, you can lean on me.
Zach's doing the same thing that some of these politics commentators are doing, but with comics and science fiction fandom instead of
shit that Zach says. He makes AOC sound smart.
Chasing the views gained from being a permanent devil's advocate, says Rhaegar. Yeah. Huh. I don't know.
Well, I will give him credit for one thing. He's not doing it to boost his channel.
Apparently not.
As I said, now I realize nobody's getting the views they used to. I know, I know that Wes gets about 3,000 or 4,000 views now, which is about Yeah, 10% of his sub count.
I would love 3,000 or 4,000. I would love, again.
Okay, but Richard still has 90, and he's getting 2,000 or 3,000 views. That's far less than 10% of his sub count.
Yeah, oh yeah, I'm getting 1% of my subs. Actually, less than 1% at this point. But I've seen a lot of creators do that, and it just goes. You could say I betrayed my audience as well, because I stopped. I went away from the king. I actually told everybody the king has no clothes, and a whole bunch of my audience just left. We don't want to watch your stuff anymore. We're going over with Ethan Van Sciver. A lot of those people have never returned, by the way, also, after they found out that the king does, in fact, walk his walrus ass around naked.
You used to be the great hot dog debater.
There you go. But I know I did that, and when it came to, I was hoping to build a bit of a different audience. Not like I wanted everybody to leave and bring in new people all together. I don't want this... I didn't want it to be, let's look for the woke, let's look for the SJW and everything, which is basically what we were doing at the time. And even then, I was the one that came up with the phrase chasing ghosts. That's what we would call it when people were seeing woke where it wasn't.
I don't know about that. Chasing ghosts. I was using that too.
No, actually, I was wrong. Yeah, there's 3 or 4 videos that are over 10,000 from the last couple of days.
Sticks boy, these days I'm the same way. My channel got shadow banned because I pissed off
Is it about the Ultimate
bunch of Ethan Van Sciver fans.
Is it the Ultimate Universe being canceled?
No, like he did one.
Well, I mean, like he had a bunch of
cancel culture is wrecking, Marvel.
Oh yeah, you bring that shit in, you're gonna get views.
But he's talking about he was clever enough to be ambiguous because he was talking about Marvel canceling a bunch of titles, not anything their creators were doing.
Yeah,
right.
Sticks, I'm with you too, man. If I get 100 on our readings, it means that we've reached 100 people at least.
When I was at the peak before war campaign came after me and mass flagged all my videos, and I ended up getting shadow banned. At the same time, that what's his name, Lispy queer guy from Vox came in and messed everything up through he tried to sue Crowder and all the Crowder even, by the way, came out and apologized. He goes, "You're not going to hurt me. You're hurting smaller channels." And that guy, he goes, "Well, I don't care, because if they get hurt, then they deserve to." Fuck you.
Carlos Mazza, or whatever it is.
Carlos Mazza, whatever his name was.
Yeah.
But at my peak, I would post a video and I could walk away. When I came back maybe an hour later, at the very beginning, I had 500 views right off, and I would pray for 500 views the way it is. And then it would go anywhere between 3 to whatever, and that's where it would start. It was like 3,000 was a base.
So here's the thing. If you start just covering anime and manga, you'll make all your views back, because that's where all it is now. I looked at that. I was like, dang, the manga channels, just some news report updates. Those guys are doing so much better than the comic book people, because the comic book people, it's not that much news.
Nobody, even comic book fans, don't care about comic books today.
Well, here's the thing, though.
Unless you are pointing out, like Wes does. Wes talks about comics, but he really talks about the entropy surrounding the comic book hobby.
My shop, neither one of the shops got hardly any of their Marvels in. One shop, my main shop, hasn't had many Marvel books in for 2 weeks now. Second week in a row, they haven't got any Marvel books. They're not. It's ridiculous. They don't charge you until they actually like ship your order out. But it's like, how the heck am I supposed to keep my shop open? And he's like, dude, it's like, he's telling me, he's joking, he's half-heartedly joking about it. He's like, I think it's a fucking conspiracy to get rid of the shops. They get rid of the middleman. They just want to do digital release.
I don't know, man.
No, there was a time though when a store not getting their Marvels would have been a death blow. Now, to quote pitch meeting, it's barely an inconvenience.
Not as much as you'd think, though, dude. It does actually affect the shops. So I don't know because there are people that
not nearly to the degree it would have 30 years ago.
Yes, but enough where there's people that rush. I see them rushing these stores. It opens at noon. They're already waiting in line. They run in there and they quick grab everything. They grab 2 or 3 covers and then they leave. None of them really peruse the back issues whatsoever. But it's like I'm just like it's ridiculous. And then you heard about the big previous book now that usually a Diamond is now, or whoever who's in charge of it, is they're now doing it digital. So if you want to get stuff, order stuff, you don't order at a comic book store. You go digital. You go at home and you order digital. I'm like at that point, just do what Jay Lucian does. Order my comic books online and have them shipped to me. You know, like I said, it just sounds like with this whole Diamond and everything, it just sounds like it's a way to get rid of comic book shops. You know,
maybe.
No, that's I think things were actually better when Diamond had the monopoly.
It was honestly.
But
COVID, we can blame COVID, but it's like more so it's Diamond.
Kids, we managed to turn this into a full-length show, so I'm gonna head out because I need to get up early in the morning. So
all right, you have a good day, man.
Okay, see you guys.
So I managed to order a bunch of books, and one of the things I ordered was a box of 150 comics. That did not come in today. The side books came in today. So cool. These are going to be in the auction. I'll do an official draw. Apparently, Zach is sending some books. Hopefully, I'll get that box of 150 comics as well. So when they do come in, I'll do an official, this is what we got. But there we go. Oh, Austin, I mentioned everybody, it's going to be either tomorrow or Friday. It's going to be Friday. Tomorrow, I've got to go get someone from the airport about 4 hours away. So I mentioned that last. We're everybody who's got comics coming are going to get their comics sent. We did have this. It was been a horrible 2 weeks, but we're getting money from our 401k, so we're able to cover this. Okay. I told Gail that's it, and then we want to save the money, of course, just to be there that can cover shit like this last week. But yeah, it's going to be on Friday, so there you go. But these are books that did come in. There you go.
Hurrah.
These were ordered, by the way, 3 weeks ago. They really suck on their delivery. There you go.
The shop he's like, if Diamond doesn't ship my books, I'm just gonna start buying them off of eBay because I know somebody will get them and they'll put them on eBay. And he has been. It's funny part. He has been doing that with some of his books. He's been like, back issues. He goes on eBay, see what's on there, and he replenishes some of his back issues.
All right, and like I said, I'm going to do an official showing, but those are some of the books that I got in. It was supposed to come with a box of 150 comics, so yeah. All right, there you go. So Friday, by the way, we are going to be doing X-Men, the animated series. It's called the X-Men Adventures. It was based on the animated series from the 1990s. We're going to be doing that on Friday. Tomorrow, however, you want to go on over to Geeky Puppet Show.
Yes, 9 p.m. Eastern. For those of you that don't show up, Eric and Boyd, Austin, I don't really see you over there. Start calling names I see over here all the time. That ignore us. No. We'd love to see you over there. Eric's on there the whole entire time. Eric shows off his books. I show off my books. Zach's on there. We get our friend, our Geek Easy. Yeah, just hang. All it is a hangout, kind of like we do here. Instead of ranking covers, we're just showing off the books that we got. We talk about the new issues and the back issues. So,
yeah, Michael Taylor, that will be the show's on Sunday. So yeah, Sunday night I will be happy to do an unboxing of all the books we got. Hopefully, the Saturday auction will be good enough that I'll be able to get at least one full auction, if not 2 auctions. We'll see how that goes.
Shout out to Wraith, man. That guy never makes it a live stream, but he's always leaving a comment. He watches the replays on both our channels.
Cool.
I was because
did you say Rave Man?
Wraith.
Oh, Wraith. Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah.
He's never in the chat, but afterwards, yeah, absolutely. Shout out to Wraith. Yeah. He's the only person, by the way, because I always leave the votes up. He's the only person who votes on stuff.
Yep.
So, and by the way, if you're watching and you haven't voted, leave a comment with your votes for the covers. It counts. I keep these, and when I do a video that I tally up the scores, your score will count even if you put it in the comments. So there you go. To answer MK's question, he said, which song is better, Babe, a song by Styx, or Ruby Tuesday, a song by Rolling Stone? Eric's not here. I can't believe he's not here for this.
Oh, which one is this?
Ruby Tuesday is a better song than Babe. Babe is Styx's only
it's a horrible restaurant.
Great salad bar. I'm going to give it to the salad bar. Don't order off the menu. Get the salad bar. Oh, and their fruit tea. But yeah, I actually do like Ruby Tuesday a lot better than I do Babe. But Babe also suffers from familiarity to me. There are just some songs that just I've heard it. I'm good now. It's one of those. But there you go. And Styx saying Babe for him. But yeah, I would go Ruby Tuesday on that. There you go. Okay, kids, we're going to call it. You guys have a great night. Thank you very much for hanging out. Don't forget to show up tomorrow at the Geeky Puppet Show for their hangout. And on Friday, we're going to be ranking the X-Men covers. And hopefully, even before that, I'll have something to show off for you guys as far as books for the auction on Saturday. The auction's on Saturday. So please show up for that, because that's going to be very important for what we get at the comic book show on Sunday. You guys have a great time. And as always, thank you very, very much for watching.